We return to Daguar around noon. The wind blows across the steppe, still dry despite the first signs of spring. The ambush is still fresh in our minds. Behind us, the silence weighs heavier than the dust on our clothes. The village finally appears, nestled between the river and the fields. Smoke rises straight into the sky, and children's cries echo from the riverbank. Everything seems peaceful. There are 6 of us: me, Lysar, Tavnar, Eldar, Korvar, and Gaidrir, silent since we left, his gaze sweeping the village as if searching for something familiar. The villagers greet us. Some pause for a moment to look at our horses, others immediately resume their work. No one notices the tension, nor Korvar's wound hidden under his sleeve. We cross the square. The large wooden horse still stands in the center, imposing. The air is thick with the smell of the forge, fresh bread, and damp hay. We've gone home. The tranquility of the village gives the impression that nothing has happened, but we all know that's just an illusion. I need answers. As you dismount, the sound of hammering echoes from the nearby forge, where Grimbar, the village blacksmith, works tirelessly. His burly frame emerges from the doorway, sweat-drenched and covered in soot. He waves cheerfully, oblivious to any concerns. Gaidrir steps closer, his eyes darting between the villagers, his usual calm demeanor shaken. I need to rest," he murmurs, almost to himself. Your friends exchange wordless glances, each lost in their own thoughts. The warmth of the village atmosphere starts to seep into your bones, but the memory of the ambush lingers, refusing to be pushed aside. We head towards the stables and dismount. We're fine, but rather shaken by this morning's ambush. It's not usual to be attacked like this on our own land, not in this way. The group is silent as they unsaddle their mounts. I turn to them. Korvar, go to your wife and children. Lysar, Tavnar, and Eldar, go home. I'll keep you informed. Gaidrir, go to my father's farmhouse, Chief Favar. I'll meet you there later. I have to go see our blacksmith. He'll surely have some answers. I finish my sentence by examining once more a short sword on which the mysterious inscription, PN, is engraved on the pommel. Your friends nod, splitting off in different directions. Korvar heads straight for his family, while Lysar, Eldar, and Tavnar reluctantly make their way back to their respective homes. Gaidrir nods, his eyes clouded, and sets off towards Chief Favar's farmhouse. You're left alone, studying the cryptic PN mark. The sun beats down on your back, casting long shadows across the stable yard. The horses shift uneasily, sensing the lingering tension. Grimbar notices you standing there, lost in thought, and ambles over, wiping his greasy hands on his apron. Ho there, Kalar. Welcome back. You all right, lad? You've got to look like you've seen ghosts. I look up, pulled from my thoughts, and see our blacksmith heading towards me. Ah, Grimbar, I was just about to come see you to ask you some information. We made a round trip to a neighboring village to the north, but on the way back, some bandits or assassins ambushed us not far from Daguar. That's never happened to me before. We got rid of them, luckily. They weren't very skilled. But we collected their weapons from their bodies, and here's what we found. The pommels are marked P.N. Do you know a blacksmith in the area with that name? P.N., huh, he grumbles. Yes, I know where it might come from. This kind of engraving isn't common around here. There's a traveling blacksmith to the east, quite well known, near the Branner Hills. He's the one who makes his mark with this style, just his initials engraved on the pommel. He shakes his head, his bushy eyebrows furrowed. It's several small villages. We don't know many blacksmiths there, but this one is renowned for his strong blades. If you want to know where it comes from, that's where you should look. He places the sword back on the anvil and crosses his arms, a small, gruff smile playing at the corners of his lips. As for I forge, I know how to recognize metal and the work of my colleagues. The rest, you'll have to go and see for yourself. I take a few seconds to think about Grimbar's directions, rubbing my chin. The villages in the Branner Hills. I have exactly what I need. Thank you, Grimbar. I'll let you get back to work. See you later. Grimbar nods, already turning back to his forge. Think nothing of it, Kalar, always happy to help. He vanishes once more into the fire-lit interior, the ring of hammer on metal starting up anew. You're left pondering the implications, the Branner Hills now calling to you like an unturned page in a mysterious tome. The question echoes in your mind. What lies waiting there, tied to the cryptic mark of PN? With purposeful strides, you make your way toward Chief Favar's farmhouse, ready to share the new lead with Gaidrir and your family. The hunt for answers begins anew. As Gaidrir waits calmly for me by the door, I beckon him inside the family farmhouse. But the house is empty. My parents aren't there. I go back outside, glancing left and right, hoping to catch a glimpse of them in the main square. Nothing. A neighbor, returning home carrying a bucket, catches my eye and immediately understands my intentions. Are you looking for your parents, Kalar? They're near the river. They're finalizing the last preparations for the new landing stage. I thank him with a nod, then turn to Gaidrir. You've had a long journey, and with the ambush this morning, you must be exhausted. Go and rest in my parents' farmhouse. I'll tell them everything. See you later. I had barely finished my sentence when I crossed the small village square. The wind stirred up a little dust under my feet as I walked down the dirt path leading to the banks of the Dalmar. Gaidrir's face softens, relief evident. He nods, his shoulders sagging slightly. Thank you, Kalar, I appreciate it. He disappears into the farmhouse, seeking refuge from the chaos of the day. Meanwhile, you quicken your pace, your boots kicking up small clouds of dirt. The river's gentle gurgling grows louder, a soothing background hum. You spot your parents ahead, deep in conversation with some of the villagers. They're indeed busy overseeing the construction of the new landing stage, their faces focused. Children play tag nearby, laughing and shrieking, unaware of the shadows you've faced. The scene feels almost surreal, given the danger you've just escaped. You pause, savoring the peaceful atmosphere. Upon my arrival, my parents greeted me warmly, interrupting their discussion with the craftsmen. I could tell they were eager to know whether Gaidrir had truly kept his word about the magic key, the one said to reveal the fragments that lead to Valamir's lost tomb, his ancestors' resting place. Mother, sorry to interrupt, but I have important news. Shall we walk a bit along the riverbank? There's much to discuss. Your mother's eyes sparkle, concern flickering beneath her smile. Your father's face, weathered from years spent outdoors, creases slightly, sensing something amiss. He nods, gesturing broadly toward the riverbank. Let's walk, we've got time. The villagers exchange curious glances, sensing something's up, but they return to their tasks. Your parents fall into step beside you, their footsteps quiet on the sandy shore. The river's gentle flow creates a sense of intimacy, shielding your conversation from prying ears. Your mother's fingers brush against your arm, a gentle, encouraging touch. What's wrong, dear? You seem troubled. Slightly embarrassed by the situation, I speak again. To summarize this whole trip since my departure yesterday with my companions, we reached Gaidrir's village, Drimmer. As promised, he showed us the magic stone key. I decided to bring you back here. He will be safer in Daguar, especially after such a revelation. No one there seems to know he's one of the last descendants of the legendary Valamir. But our visit didn't go unnoticed, and that became clear soon enough. This morning, on our way back, we were ambushed. A dozen attackers, not very skilled but dangerous enough. Fortunately, we all made it out alive. Only Korvar was slightly wounded. Your parents listen intently, their expressions grave. Your mother gasps at the mention of the ambush, while your father's jaw tightens, his eyes flashing protective anger. The magic key is here then. He rubs his chin thoughtfully. That's a heavy burden indeed, and these attackers, you think they were after Gaidrir, or perhaps seeking to stop him from sharing this knowledge. He looks at you sharply. Did you recognize their banner or emblem? Any clue who might be behind it? Your mother puts a reassuring hand on your shoulder. I'm just grateful you're safe, but this changes things. We'll need to increase our guard around Gaidrir. I let out a little uncertain sigh. Yes, the key is here, and so is Gaidrir. He'll be safe with us. It's better if he doesn't return to his village, especially after the ambush. When we searched the bodies, we found inscriptions on the pommels of their weapons. PN. I didn't know who was behind those letters, so I went to see our blacksmith. He told me it belonged to an itinerant blacksmith traveling through the Branner Hills, northeast of here. That's when it clicked, the one who rules that region with an iron hand, Chief Mazar, our longtime rival, the man who's always challenged us for our supremacy as scouts and protectors against the Zarats. I take a deep breath, carried away by my frustration. I believe that when they heard about the messages I sent to recruit riders for the royal mission to restore the Valamir Way, they decided to get rid of me. They couldn't stand that. Without election or nomination, I was naturally entrusted with this duty, as the son of the chief of the village known for its horses and its scouts. Your father's eyes narrow, his grip on his arm tightening. Mazor, that snake, always trying to undermine our reputation. So he thinks he can take us down like that, huh? Your mother bites her lip, worry etched on her face. But why would he care so much about you specifically? There are many scouts in the kingdom, unless... She pauses, her brow furrowed. Unless they're not just targeting you, Kalar. Maybe it's about the key and the connection to Valamir. Maybe they're searching for the tomb too. Your father nods grimly. Aye, that's possible, maybe even likely. If Mazar's involved, it means he's after something bigger than just us. Lower my head, looking somber and thoughtful. No, he can't possibly know about this key, impossible. Only my friends, you two, Gaidrir, and I know. Otherwise, Gaidrir would have been attacked long ago to steal it. The only plausible reason is the jealousy of Mazar and his son. He hasn't accepted the fact that I'm logically leading this mission. They know the prestige it brings if it succeeds. If I die, then they, naturally, will be the ones who can claim the right to lead the scouts for our king. Right after the ambush, I thought, like you, that Gaidrir was the target, but in reality, it was me. They don't know who Gaidrir is. They may never know. And even if they did, they're not the type to chase after legends, but rather after emerging opportunities, right? Your father nods vigorously, his face set in a determined scowl. Exactly, son. That's Mazar's style. He's always been a pragmatist, not one for chasing myths or whispers. No, he'd rather grab power by the throat. Your mother exhales softly, her relief palpable. Then it's not about the key, at least not directly. The sunlight dances across the water, casting ripples on the sandy shore. Your parents exchange a weighted glance, silently acknowledging the complexity of the situation. But Kalar, if Mazar's playing these games, your father trails off, his jaw clenched. He won't stop until he gets what he wants, and you, my boy, are standing directly in his way. As my parents exchange a worried glance, silence falls between us for a moment, broken only by the steady lapping of the Dalmer River. I'm about to add something when a familiar voice calls out to me from the top of the path. Kalar, Kalar. It's Lysar. He comes running, slightly out of breath, his face lit by unusual excitement. The first volunteer riders have arrived in the village. They're waiting near the main square. I nod, casting one last look at my parents. I'll take care of it right away. We'll talk about it all again tonight. I stride back up the path, the spring wind stirring up the dust on the road. The news has already spread. Several riders from neighboring villages have answered my call. I spend the day welcoming them, questioning them, assessing their experience and their mounts. Hooves echo in the courtyard, conversations flow, handshakes are exchanged. Some faces are familiar, others not, but all share the same determination. The next day at dawn, the village square is bustling again. More riders arrive, sometimes alone, sometimes in small groups. I continue the interviews, assigning the volunteers according to their skills. Scouts, archers, medics, messengers. Little by little, unity takes shape, and I feel the weight of responsibility rising within me, as well as the pride of seeing Daguar become the beating heart of this expedition. In the evening, the village quiets down. The contemplative priests gather in front of the old stone temple. The ceremony begins, simple and solemn. Deep chants rise into the cool air, and the flames of torches cast shifting shadows on faces. The horses, the weapons, and the travelers preparing to depart are blessed. I stand apart, my hands clasped, listening silently to the ancient words murmured by the senior priest. When the last chant fades, I look around. My companions, my relatives, Gaidrir, all are there. The moment is drawing near. Our departure for the capital is imminent. As the last notes of the chant fade, the air vibrates with anticipation. Your friends, your family, and even Gaidrir, who seems more at ease now, watch you, their faces illuminated by the soft flicker of the torches. The village, once filled with the clamor of preparation, has grown quiet once more. Even the wind seems to hold its breath. Your father places a hand on your shoulder, his voice low and steady. "You're ready for this, son." Your mother adds, "We're proud of you." Lysar, Tavnar, Eldar, and Korvar nod in agreement, their eyes shining with a mix of excitement and concern. Gaidrir, too, nods slightly, his expression unreadable. You feel the collective gaze upon you, the weight of leadership settling upon your shoulders. Tomorrow, you'll set off toward the capital, accompanied by these brave volunteers. The fate of your mission hangs precariously, threatened by unknown forces, rival ambitions, and the whispers of forgotten legends. Yet tonight, surrounded by loved ones and new allies, you draw strength from their presence.